people who are like, yeah, it doesn't work out. Right? For team reasons, for skills reasons, or whatever it is. So don't take rejection too hard, just keep on plodding along. But don't stubbornly try to run through the wall, like the wall won't move, so if you need to find a door, just find a door. So you have to kind of be rummaging around some of those things.
I can just add to that as well. There's many different paths to what you're asking that question with regard to new product ideas, right? There's the stuff that JP mentioned where organizations, free thinkers in those organizations are coming up with these new ideas. I know Oracle goes out, their executives go out and talk to other executives that are using the products to find out what are their needs, what are they looking for in the products of the future. Also, OAUG, we've got something called the Customer Support Council, where users of Oracle products are getting together and they're saying, hey, these are the types of attributes that are missing from the product. What can OAUG as an organization do to influence Oracle in the development of these solutions in further versions of the product? So there's a number of different channels to getting to new product development and the germination of ideas that finally get into a product.
And generally speaking, if somebody else has got a question, I'll just keep on talking to somebody else a question. But innovation is an interesting concept, right? I mean, there is adjustments and additions to products, and like new ideas are genuinely hard, right? And if you and startups are very cool, right? But there's a reason that whatever, I don't know what the percentage is, but 80 or 90, whatever percent of startups fail. It's typically not because the idea is bad. You can't get it to market quickly, or you can't get it done well enough or adopted or whatever. One of the interesting things about larger companies is that you have a lot of resources. One of the drawbacks of larger companies is the lack of focus.
And the bureaucracy too.
It's all of that, right? It's like, and I've been lucky, right? The reason I'm still at Oracle, I think, is that, like I said, it's my fourth job, which spans 3 products. Certain parts of Oracle have very little bureaucracy. And if I can convince Andy Mendelsohn, who is like whatever 6 levels above me, but who I get to speak to actually, like it's not like, oh, go sit in the corner or send PowerPoints up, I actually get to speak to him. But in that sense, Oracle is fairly low threshold. And so if you start looking for like product management job or development jobs, start asking questions as, so how does it work? How does an idea go in this company? Right? Don't just expect to be interviewed and kind of hope to fit into the company. You should interview the company. Right? Because if you have certain ideas and you want to do certain things, it's critical to find a company that matches you. Right? I don't do well, I just start talking. I don't necessarily always formulate my thoughts beforehand. But so you have to kind of figure out how you fit in, and if a company is very, oh, you have to formulate that, you have to write a 10-page paper, you have to send it to your boss is going to send it to somebody else, going to send it to somebody else. Yeah, it wouldn't work for me very well, right? Again, you have to learn some of those things. But also look for what do you want to do, or what do you think you want to do, and how does an organization react to that, and ask them questions. How does it work? And say, no, how does this really work? Not like, just tell me the marketing spiel, right? How does it really work? And ask the company lots and lots and lots of questions.
Also along the lines of new product development and innovation, a lot of times what you're looking to do in terms of getting to that spot of a new product or new innovation, you actually, on that journey, find out that there's another new product innovation that comes along the way when we're looking at A, actually B is the product that comes out from all of your work and effort. There's a great book from the 1970s by an author named James Burke called Connections. And in that book, they describe how individuals, countries were looking for a solution on one path, and they accidentally discover solutions on that path in a different, completely different area, and it's better than what they were originally thinking.
Can the professor ask a question?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it has to be a good one, though.
I'd like to ask a question for Paul.
Okay.
It seems like, you're not been involved so
The
far.
big guns are here.
Exactly.
I understand.
I understand. So you mentioned that you've done a lot of consulting work, right, with Oracle, and some of these projects were in analytics field. So I'm curious as to what particular methods, tools, applications you are using in these analytics projects that you've done. Can you please elaborate? So what are the skill set, basically, that would really make a difference in terms of working on Oracle-related analytics projects?
So there are two aspects to working on an analytics project. One is, like JP said, there's a group of people who will actually write the code, do the heavy lifting. Their role is primarily to know the skills that they need to be able to do to get from point A to point B. So that's primarily core skill sets. And there's another aspect which is primarily the design, which is very important, which is like a product manager. You actually have to know what the end result is going to look like, or what the end result should be. And that primarily is based on requirements. In most cases, when you walk into a company as a consultant, they say, we have a list of requirements and we want to have you help us get there. When you actually look at the requirements, they are not what they need, but what they would like to see somewhere in the future. So there is a difference between a requirement and there's a difference between a need and a want. You need something to do your job and get something accomplished. You may want something more, so it makes it easier for you to get your job done. That is not the core process that should be addressed first. What you need to actually look at is what is absolutely essential for you to get your job completed. Which means I need a report which will give me my top 10 customers at the end of every week. That is an absolute requirement. But I'd like to know how my customers are doing is a want. So if you look at, it's very important for you as a consultant to get into the situation to ask difficult questions. If you don't ask difficult questions, then you shouldn't be a consultant, because then you're walking into a company and you're actually working with them to go deeper down into where they already are. They're asking you to come in because they're in trouble. One way or the other. They can't get their data to work, they can't get their systems to work, or they can't get their process finished on time. These are the three major issues where people call in a consultant. Because you have, to JP's point and to Doug's point, you have people who are already working there. Why would somebody like Doug's company, and which may not be happening for Doug's company, but other companies do that, bring in a consultant? Because they have people who've got tunnel vision and they have been focused on doing a lot of this work. And there's something new that comes up. And we say we are now going to the digital age. And we need to build websites which are completely based on data that's available in the underlying, available in the underlying database. How do you get there? There are tools available, which will be a portion of your team, which will be doing that and understanding how to get that data and surface it, how it will be visualized. But there's somebody who needs to build what that visualization should look like. That's the role of a consultant, as a design or an architect, solution architect. So there are two facets. So that's where the tools really don't matter. If you know your fundamentals, the tools you can be taught. So I work with mostly financials or accounting systems. When I walk into a company and I need to build a team to make this project successful, I look for people who know accounting. I can teach them how to use the system, but I cannot teach them accounting. That's not my role. You have to know the fundamentals right. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you.
That's great. Question for the audience. What is the most difficult question you can ask if you come into something like that? It's a very simple question, it's a very difficult question. Single word.
I'll answer that later, but go ahead.
In my opinion, is why. Keep on asking,
Keep on asking
why. Like, I want this. Why? Like, why do you want like that? Because you need people to go like beyond, I want top 10 customers.
And actually, you will actually, I'm hoping that when you go into the market, you hear this. A lot of people will say, I need this because I've been doing this for so long. That's not an answer.
It's a really bad answer.
It's a really bad answer, actually. It's not an answer at all. And the next question you need to ask is, and? So till you can get, so here's my thumb rule. If you can answer 5 whys from me effectively, then I will discuss the requirement with you.
And let me just say that I'm always the needy person. I need this, and when they do fire back at me saying why, it really does help me to think more fully about that end result. So what they have just said is absolutely key, and it also trains the people like me who are always in need to think much more clearly about the requests that I'm making. So you might very well find yourselves in that position where I am, where you are needing, but for sake of their time, because they are always very busy when you're working in a corporate environment, try to think through those steps and be very clear about that end result that you're needing as well. So, but yeah, I'm the one that you guys always have to do.
I'm going to make a quick comment.
I'm going to make a quick comment because I used to be in their position, even though I'm not anymore, because I'm actually Oracle's philanthropy team. So when I used to be a product manager, the question that I used to ask my implementers and our customers when we were designing is, when they would give me their whys is, but have you looked at an improvement on your process that will shorten the time? So even though you have a why, there could be a quicker, faster, easier way to do something on top of a why.
That also means that if you guys go to an interview, James, and you say like, hey, I want to work at Johns Hopkins or whatever, think about your whys too. Why would you go there? What do you want to do? Like, what do you actually want to get to? And I never asked myself that question, right? My career path has been very much, let's bubble along and look for opportunities, right? So I think there's two career path options, right? A, you do the spreadsheet way, which sounds derogatory, it's not intended like that. But you actually plan, where do I want to be 3 years from now, 8 years from now, 12 years from now, 24 years from now? I know people who do that, right? They literally look for jobs that fill the next requirement for them, and they ask themselves why. Well, I want to retire rich, or whatever the answer is, right? I personally just go like, I would like to actually enjoy what I do, which is a very different requirement and why, right? I actually like to get up in the morning, go to work, and enjoy what I do. Well, every day is like that, trust me, it's already good. And so I just looked at it much more from I don't necessarily need to work at Google or at Apple or at something that has a big name. What I want to do is drive innovation and products and invent stuff and do cool things and whatever that means, right? So ask yourself as well, like, what fits with you? Like, what do you want to do? And what is your kind of take on careers? And then just keep an open mind and pick the one you like and eventually adjust where you want to go, right? Make the spreadsheet. And after 4 weeks, you might go, whatever, I'm going to go do something else. It just happens, right? But think about that as well, like, what do you want to do?
So one of the things I'd like to add to that is, to JB's point, you'd like to get up in the morning and go to work. I have been at multiple jobs and I've quit jobs, even though I'm doing pretty well. It's because when I get up the next day, I'm not enjoying going to work and doing my job every day. So to the spreadsheet analogy that JB gave, you would have a spreadsheet and you'd be 2 years, 4 years, 10 years, 12 years, you'd be doing some things to reach there. Will you be enjoying doing that? Because if you don't, you could be somebody who does not enjoy it but still need to do it because of various other reasons. Perfectly okay. But if you want to enjoy what you're doing, that may not be necessarily always the path you take. There could be other paths. And you want to enjoy what you're doing, because that's when you have the possibility of being successful. You also have the possibility of enjoying your success.
Back to Mohan's point, there's a quote from Winston Churchill that says, "The plan is nothing, but planning is everything." So if you think about it, the plan that you have will evolve, it'll change, but the process of planning the future is everything.
You good?
I think so. Are there any other questions before we move on to our next? We do have another one.
So as you mentioned about the career path, so this question is for JP, and as you started from the analyst, and now you are project manager. So I want to know why you have this change, and what's the normal path for the analyst?
So the detailed answer to that is, we did a consulting project and ended up talking to the development team on a new product. And being Dutch, I am not shy giving you my opinion. And there was no sugarcoating anything. So this is bad, this is crap, this doesn't work, why don't you do that? And they basically turned around and said, well, since you have such glorious opinions, I'll let you fly to San Francisco and go fix it. And we're like, yeah, whatever. Took about 6 months, but I did eventually get on a big blue plane and then San Francisco. Right, so some of it is, I made a bit of a joke out of it, but some of it is not being afraid to speak out and looking for opportunities. But I had no idea what product management was. So far, do I still have no.
While this is being verified, please.
We planned for that.
Yes. I'm not sure exactly what that means.
So do we wait for that, or do we, so anyways, I'll just finish my answer very briefly. But so I didn't have any idea what product management was when I started doing product management. That's probably a flaw in my character or anything else. So you should actually think about what this is. But what appealed me in it is that you potentially get to drive what a product looks like and what it becomes, and you get to kind of make it what you think it needs to be. The typical path is to look for opportunities, like I said. You start a job, and believe it or not, people are always happy if you help them improve something.
You may not like your answer at first.
Correct.
They are eventually going to be happy.
They might kind of show resistance, right? But people typically are happy if you have suggestions and help with things.
One more question from a professor, but on behalf of the student audience here. So, does Oracle Application User Group support, let's say, student internships, let's say in analytics or in, of course, IT technology, and what are the channels that students can, in fact, apply for some internships or, in fact, jobs after certain IT and analytics type programs?
I think I can take that one. And we'll go a little bit into detail at lunch. That's sort of one of our topic areas.
Okay, then I'm taking that.
Okay.
I'll be wait until lunch. This is a better arrangement then.
No worries.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Hi, so I believe this forum is there with our college, Cal State East Bay. So are you doing similar forums with other colleges also? And if that's the case, then so many students will be collaborating with this forum. And how does it help different colleges with you coming along, and meeting like different people, different students across different colleges? So how this differentiates in terms of Cal State East Bay?
I think I'll let James maybe take that one. Liz?
I volunteer. This is actually our second forum. We did this at Penn State, the Erie Satellite Campus last year, and it was a very, very successful pilot program. And what we realized is that there's a lot of opportunities with universities that are not only teaching Oracle to their student body, but also consuming Oracle applications and technology at the university to create this network. And what we're looking for is leveraging connections with the Oracle Academy and Oracle Learning to plot out where our next universities will be engaged. So this is going to be something that we know is popular and trendy and now successful thanks to everyone in this room, which enables the interest of the OAUG to support this event moving forward. You had one more question in there.
I'm actually going to take that. So I'm from Oracle Academy, so we're Oracle's premier philanthropic program. We work with high schools, community colleges, and universities. We are a $3 billion program. We support 2 million students globally. And I worked with James to select Cal State East Bay, because Cal State East Bay, I don't know if you're aware, I've been working with Professor Z for a very long time, and you guys are one of our premier partners because you guys have a lot of Oracle technologies embedded into your program across e-business suite, across the business analytics. We actually worked 4 years ago, Professor Z and I worked with our big data team, our analytics team to actually work through and on the development and implementation of your curriculum. So you guys are kind of one of our pilot schools. So James, Denise, my boss and I are going to look at our next schools as we're going to identify our Oracle Academy schools, and we're going to look to see what we're going to work with. And how we're going to do that is they have to be Oracle Academy members, which means that we provide your software and your curriculum to use in your classroom. So what that means is through my program is we give you the software and to use in your classroom for free. So that means that the curriculum that JP's teams and the other Oracle teams develop and give to the Oracle customers, like our users groups and the partners that implement them represent, that take them and use in the workplace or in our customers. We give them to you to use in your classroom and for the professors to use in their research projects for free. So when you go out and look for your jobs and in those workplaces, you have those Oracle skills to be able to take to those employers. So we selected you as a pilot campus because you are already learning those skills in your classrooms across multiple programs in the business school in particular and across multiple disciplines.
And then just to add to that, and Doug will be going into more about our job board and how we've been implementing and really releasing that out. It's a pretty new program. One of the sort of subgroups that we have in our organization is called Emerging Leaders. And I think it's really important for all of you we will be giving to the university a one-year membership. So all of you as students can take advantage of the membership. You'll be getting more instructions on how that'll work after the event through Dr. Z. But the Emerging Leaders program is an opportunity for all of you as you start to get into the professional world to really be able to continue growing your network. And this is another one of the reasons why we want to do this for you. That realization of the need that you're going to suddenly have of having a broad network of people that are coming across the same kinds of challenges you are, it's critical. And this whole group, it's the whole age bracket of folks that you guys are in are going to wind up really connecting to help each and every one of your careers move forward. So that's a really great program that I really invite each of you to explore further. What we'll do is work with our membership department to do a webinar for all of you who will make sure you guys get invitations to it. But we'll make sure that there's the chair of that particular committee is there to talk to you on how you might want to volunteer and get involved. So OAUG is an all-volunteer-led community globally, but it is a great way for those of you who are just getting into your professional careers to start building that network that will literally take you through to retirement. And I mean that literally. People that I met even 25 years ago when I started at Oracle, I am still working with to this day. And it's a very valuable friendship, partnership, and working relationship that is critical. So Emerging Leaders out of OAUG, I think, is something really great for you guys to do. I know we've got a lot of great programming for you guys still to go, so I think we're going to break. You guys can pull these folks aside if it's in between and ask questions if you'd like to. All right, so next up we've got a data capital and how to avoid data bankruptcy, and that's going to be delivered by JP in room 307A, which is right across the aisle here. And then we also have coming up right now a interviewing for an IT position, which is going to be presented by Doug, and that will be in this room. Next few sessions that we have coming up is data and how it drives business in your career today. That'll be presented by Mohan. That is going to be in this room, and then we have data integration, on-premise versus cloud, and everything in between, which is going to be presented by Liz, and that is in room 307. And then we will end up our day back in this room for lunch and for a little bit of a wrap-up, telling you just a little bit more about some of the benefits that OAUG has. So with that, I wish all of you a great morning, get some great information, don't hesitate to ask questions, and thanks for being here. So go enjoy your day, get some great info. Thank you.
covering all four projects.
Oh,
Marina Bay, people can't get condos still. You can't, I'm telling you, it is such a it's beautiful. It's all machine park. So it is like, it is absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful marinas.
But actually, it's for me. I was born here in the Bay.
You miss it, like there's things that I miss, like I miss restaurant. I have like my friends I have no restaurant food. I see, so every time I go back, what form of French place are you going today?
Yes, it's like I must get my whole restaurant.
I must get my sourdough bread.
Yeah.
So I did that.
When you were here, did you ever go to Pancheros or Heroes? Okay, so it's closed now, but there's a lot of people who grew up here.